She hurt her shoulder playing pickleball. Her doctor sent her to physical therapy twice a week, and Medicare paid for it the way Medicare is supposed to. Then she came in for her last appointment, and the front desk called her over. Medicare had denied the claim. The reason on the screen made no sense at all. According to Medicare's records, she was enrolled in hospice care. She laughed. So did the woman at the desk. It was so obviously a clerical error that somebody would fix it in an afternoon. Nobody fixed it. She spent hours on hold and filed an appeal that she never heard back about. One Medicare representative suggested she hire a lawyer and warned her it could take a year or two. All that time she kept paying her premiums and could not get medical care of any kind because in the eyes of the system, she was a dying woman who had chosen to stop treatment. So she looked into it herself. The hospice's address was a strip mall. Its phone went unanswered, and the doctor named on her file was a surgeon who had never heard of her. His identity had been stolen too. 6 months later, a new Medicare card arrived in the mail with no letter and no explanation. That is not a cautionary tale. That is testimony given to a committee of Congress this year. I'm Sam, your senior fraud guide. Nobody took $1 out of that woman's bank account. What they took was her Medicare number. And a Medicare number in the wrong hands does something cash never can. It can quietly switch off your access to your own health care, and you will not find out until the day you need it. Here's the size of that market. In 2025, federal prosecutors charged a group that had billed Medicare $10.6 billion for urinary catheters and other equipment, using the stolen identities of more than 1 million Americans across all 50 states. A year later, they charged another man in the same organization with $3.7 billion more. It rarely looks like a crime, though. A woman in Maryland opened her door to 3 braces she never ordered. The back brace was billed to Medicare at over $1,100. Medicare paid about $400 of it. That same brace sells online for about $25, and the numbers themselves are merchandise. In one Florida case, a health network employee photographed patient records off his own screen with his phone. A list of about 100 Medicare numbers sold for roughly $500 and resold for as much as $7,000. So how do they get yours? Somebody sells it, or somebody hands it over, and the handing over is the part you control. Which brings us to the 5 signs. 1. The call came to you. In Medicare's own words, Medicare will never call you uninvited and ask you to give personal or private information. The exceptions are narrow, and you would already know every one. Your own plan, a callback you asked for, or a follow-up on a fraud report you filed. Anything else is a stranger. 2. The word free. A free brace, a free cheek swab for cancer screening, a free test kit in the mail. None of it is free. It is billed to Medicare either way, and the price is your number. 3. They already seem to know you. They will say your doctor ordered this, or that your cardiologist requested it, or that they only need to verify the number they already have on file. But the people who genuinely have your number never call to ask you for it. 4. Pressure on your coverage. They will tell you that you are about to lose your benefits, that your plan is being canceled, that you need to activate your new card. Medicare cards are paper, they are free, and no Medicare card has ever needed activating. And 5, the one that actually gets people, nothing bad happens, nobody empties an account, and nobody threatens anybody. A polite person offers to help, a box shows up at the door, and the damage arrives months later, in a statement nobody opened or at a front desk in front of a stranger. So, here is what to do, and it takes about 10 minutes. Read your statements. Original Medicare mails you a summary of everything billed in your name, but only twice a year. Switch that to electronic, and you will get one every month you have a claim. and your claims post to your online account usually within a day. If you are on a Medicare Advantage plan or a drug plan, your plan sends you its own statement every month you use it. You are looking for a date you were not there or equipment you never got. If something is already wrong, call Medicare directly and know that you can ask for a new Medicare number. Medicare does issue them and has done so after past breaches. If you are the son or the daughter watching this, do two things. First, fill out the authorization form that lets Medicare speak to you about your parent. Without it, they will not, and you do not want to learn that in the middle of a crisis. Second, have the conversation carefully. Do not open with, "That's obviously a scam," because that ends it. Ask what the caller actually said and then listen. This is not you against your mother. It is you and your mother against the man on the other end of her phone. The house rule is the whole video in one sentence. Nobody gets your Medicare number because they called you. Not ever. Not for any reason, no matter who they say they are. And if it has already happened, these four are where you start. Medicare's own line, staffed around the clock. The Senior Medicare Patrol, which is free, government-funded, and will read the statement with you line by line. They are who finally untangled the case we opened with. The Office of Inspector General at the Department of Health and Human Services, where the criminal report goes. And your own Medicare account online, because that is where you will see it first. If this was useful, a like and a subscribe helps us put it in front of the people who need it. Stay vigilant, and until next time, protect yourself and protect the people you love.